Car Radio Show.
3, 2, 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Car Radio Show with me, Demographics, your favorite show worldwide. We come your way each and every time, each week from the capital, Accra. It's educative, it's entertaining, it's a vibe. Follow us on all social media platforms. Subscribe, the Car Radio Show. We are worldwide.
The Car Radio Show.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Car Radio Show with me, Demographics. Today, I have this gentleman who is everything dance. He goes by the name Nii Tete Yartey. Welcome to the Car Radio Show.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Demo.
Wow. It's been a while seeing you, and today we'll be able to catch up with you.
Yeah.
To dive into your life, because you are just dance. So how did dance start for you?
Well, my origin story doesn't get more cliche than this. Now, here it is. My father was in the field. That's all he did. I mean, he became a dance professor. Yeah. My mother was also a dancer. And in fact, through dance, so my parents met.
Interesting.
Yes, because at the time that they were trying to bring all these various traditional dances to the School of Performing Arts, my grandfather was the one who came to teach the Ghana Dance Ensemble on the Bamaya dance and some other dances. So the traditional Bamaya dance they do, the new traditional dance that they do here was taught by my grandfather. Oh. And then he had been bringing my mom along to teach. So you see, that is how it started. So and then growing up, there would always be rehearsals in the house. My father would have his dance friends coming over, and then what have you. But I never thought it was this would be my main area, because of course in SS I went to do general science.
Oh,
yes,
general science.
Yes. But growing up, whenever there's something artistic or something that has to do with performance, I never shied away from participating. So at least that had always been there. And then, even though it was never forced by any of my parents, it was encouraged if that's what you wanted to do. So even when I came to the University of Ghana, I had wanted to come and study to be an actor.
Then, if you wanted to study as an actor, how or what happened that you moved straight to dance?
Now, at the time when I got to the School of Performing Arts and we started, and just before the auditions and things, I realized that I could do dance and do all the other things. Okay. It was already had that background, I already had that talent for movement and what have you. And then truly, that's what happened. I majored in my dance, but I ended up in so many other fields, theater productions, and I picked up in music and things. Because traditionally, our dances were never one thing. Okay. Our traditional performers were never one thing. You have to be an all-round person. It has to be that music, like your poetry, stage presence, how to use costume, how to use symbolism. You have to be a philosopher. You have to be a medicine man. You have to be a politician. So all these things. So it wasn't a far-fetched thing to do, to be a dancer, to be a choreographer, and still apply myself in other areas. I mean, as we're talking, I want to start learning computer programming. That's part of what I do.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, it's still on the Car Radio Show. So now let's move to the progress from a dance student
The Car
to
Radio Show.
a dance director at the National Theatre at the point.
Yeah.
How was it like being a dance director for the entire country, Ghana?
So, in fact, my decision to go there,
Radio Show.
Was it planned?
it was not planned. It was not planned. But that's how many exciting things, that's how the story for many exciting things starts. Like, okay, so we were there. So what happened was I'd finished my master's and then I applied to be an assistant lecturer at the University of Ghana. Okay. So I'd gone for the interview. I mean, the vice chancellor and everybody. It was quite scary. So I'd gone for the interview. And just at that time, the the artistic director at the National Theatre had also gotten to 60. Wow. So there was a call for people to apply. And I thought maybe I should apply. Now, I did apply, went for the interview, and I had 2 letters coming in
At the same time.
from the University of Ghana. From the University of Ghana, and then also from the National Theatre. So I had to weigh which one to go for. Now, this is how I decided to go to the National Theatre. It was an avenue to, to on a large platform experiment with dance, and then the handling of dance in terms of its administration. Because these are two different areas. Okay. To be able to choreograph, put artistic work, that's one thing. But to be able to run a dance, a dance institution or what have you, that's another ball. That's another ball game. So that became, because I'd spent how many years at the University of Ghana. So it became a bigger challenge. It became, something that would wake me up, in the morning, get me there, be in the mix of things, figure out the politics of arts and and what have you. And I must tell you, it was an exciting 5 years. You had
5 years.
5 years, because you had a group of dancers who were on point in their performance. They loved what they were doing, and they were ready to work with any craziness that will happen. And then in that 5 years, we did a lot of productions. We brought back some of the old productions. We did international collaborations. We got the dance to move from it. Even though we couldn't get as far as I had wanted to move from your usual that's a cultural thing, it stays in a cultural thing, but bring it to the business, bring it mainstream. We had social media things happening. We had beautiful when it came to designing our posters and programming and using social media to do our advertisements and things, collaborating and exploring connections with other international national people, and then working within the National Theatre and whatever limits or tools available to see what can happen in that. So
now you've traveled extensively. You've been around the world through dance, always moving. How is that experience?
It's exciting, and I always say I'm on my 3rd passport, and I haven't had to pay for a single trip in my life.
3rd passport.
Now, the exciting things as an artist, you creating work, it's always good to pitch it against what the world yardstick is and give that viewpoint to yourself. You know what I'm saying? So whenever we go out, we know we're going with Ghana. We're going to rub shoulders with people who've also made it in their fields from their various countries. To let them know that this is what Ghana is doing. This is the kind of developmental path we're taking in terms of dance and dance presentation. But that strip Ghana aside, strip borders aside, that
Radio
opportunity
Show.
to melt minds when it comes to creating and then ways of presenting, it's that thing is priceless. You can't get it. And those of you who are artists, you know what it is to enter deep conversations with artists. And then of course we go beyond art. We will talk politics, we will talk philosophy, we will talk psychology, we will talk astronomy and what have you. It's that you can't get anywhere. And that also informs how your creative growth develops. And of course, there's a whole fun of traveling around, being picked up in the airport with limousines, exquisite hotels.
Wow.
You have your costumes and everything ironed, and it's the next performance.
You just walking,
and I mean, those parts, that's also very nice.
Okay, so it's not a car radio show. I'm talking to Nii Tete Yartey, and he's just dance. Now, tell me about Noyam Dance Institute.
Noyam. So, Noyam started as a vision from my late father. The word Noyam is Gadangbe,
Okay.
and it means progress. The Gans will say Noya. I think in Akan is Kosoa, to add upon, to develop upon. And that is the philosophy leading the Noyam Dance Institute. So what Noyam is simply, it's a dance institute with a key focus on not only preserving the traditional dance elements,
Okay.
but developing new ways of expressing those aesthetic ideas.
All right.
Yeah, so that is why the name even was Noyam. And then moving forward, the word Noyam is going to be used to describe the way we treat dance and dance development.
Okay.
Because when you look at contemporary African dance, and look at how it's being developed across the world, each place it's coming from has a certain philosophy that goes with it.
Yeah.
There are some countries that have heavy European influence on how these dance, because of course they will do the funding and what have you. So they might even dictate how the direction or how it will be presented. Sometimes they will not tell you directly, but it will be based on which dance company they might even select to present. So by even doing that, by even the selection process, you're skewing the people's mind to present something a certain way. But that's another conversation. But with Noyam, the idea is to take the traditional elements and then ask yourself, if you're to strip everything away from it, what is the last thing that will still keep it as traditionally Ghanaian? Another way you can look at it is, let's say you have a cup of coffee, and then you have a jug of milk.
Okay.
Coffee. At which point do you keep adding milk? That it stops being coffee with milk and it becomes coffee flavored milk.
Okay.
You get it? Because no matter what, you want to keep that originality, you want to keep that blackness of it. Yeah. Because I'll tell you, at the point that our traditional dances were created, I'm sure our ancestors looked at them as something new, something contemporary. Yeah. I'm sure one of your uncles was like, "Hey, have you seen that new Abacha dance?"
Oh yeah, because we keep seeing different forms of it.
So, but
the
what
energy
happened?
is different,
Yes. But how did it last? How did the people connect to it? And that's what you're looking for. Those are the elements you're looking for.
Yeah.
How does an African express anger? How does a Ghanaian express joy? How does a Ghanaian express the idea of family bond in terms of performance? By looking at these various aspects of expressions, not only related to dance, but related to the general living nature of the Ghanaian. Yeah. You can pick those elements and use that as your way of treating whatever substance you have to mold into a dance. Sure. So you're always having that negotiation. So what I also say is that with Noyam, we're speaking a new voice, but in the vocabulary of our ancestors.
You're speaking a new voice,
but in the vocabulary of our ancestors. So it means it's their vocabulary. Because there's no point in developing if you don't know where you're coming from. You need to have that trajectory. You need to know where you're from and where you're going. Yeah. And that is what that is. Even if we are to change what our ancestors did, we have to understand why it was done before, and then we will be able to change it appropriately.
It's getting hot on the Car Radio Show, guys. It's getting hot, man.
Radio Show.
Yes, so I'm still with Nii Tete. So, how many performances have you done?
I can't count.
A lot of performances so far.
I can't count because, like you said, this is what we do in Ghana. So the thing is, when it comes to performance, it's different. There's different levels. The general performance you do if somebody has an event, there's a product launch or something, and then there's where you create a dance theater piece for it to be performed to an audience that will pay and come and sit and watch. If you put those things together, it's counted. If it's not for COVID-19, I'm sure we won't be having this time. Then when you try to get a hold of me, I'm telling you, I'm at rehearsal. We have something. Aha! Which is good. Which is good.
You guys are doing well. So if you don't know Noyam, the studio is at Dodowa.
Yeah.
You can actually have a homestay there.
We have a homestay. So see, Noyam, it's a complex. It's an institution. It's home to many of my performers out there. And then we've always had international performers coming in. There's space to sleep. There's residents. They stay over. They create works for themselves. They meet. They stay. They do workshops. We have dancers coming in, staying for an extended period of time. So the theater is there. It's a proper theater that you can pay and come and work. And then of course it's an avenue to come and explore and experiment with the various works you want to do. So we're on the beautiful hills of Dodoa.
Wow.
The beautiful, very green place, very natural. You love this place.
Let me throw this to you. You've been involved in ASA. You've choreographed, co-choreographed.
Yeah.
And I want to find out from you, how does it feel like working with a legend like Pascal?
Oh, in fact, Professor Pascal and Professor Selma. And now, the two of them bring a beautiful dimension to how they put their works, together.
And they are married.
And they're married. So, and that's what I'm saying, a beautiful dimension. Because you can, when we started putting these works together, of course, sometimes Pascal would have the music, you might not have it fully formed, but you have the structure of the music there. And then Selma will have to interpret it through, dance and what have you. And then I have to direct the whole show and make sure that all these elements
Come together.
are coming together. And it's just like we'll do with any other choreographic project we're working with. Putting work together sometimes. The dance piece or the project you're doing will actually talk to you to tell you what it wants. I remember we did a piece with myself, Mr. Kofi Antonio, and Mr. Senyo Ochu. It was a trio we did together. We spent a couple of months putting the first piece together. The first time we ever performed it live, we finished that. For over 2 years, we had been trying to add it. We were never able to do it. And this is 3 choreographers, 3 serious dancers coming to it, but the piece never allowed itself. We tried everything, but nothing we did spoke to what the piece wanted to say. Wow. So we ended up we left the piece as it was. You get it? So it comes like that. Whichever team is great, whatever you need, always leave a bit of them into the piece. Yeah. But ultimately, you have to look at what is the end goal? What are we trying to achieve? Does it say? Does it conform? Does it express that vision? And of course, we go. And it's beautiful to have.
And move to my next question.
Creative mind.
How does it feel like, or how are you able to direct this? Let me say, foreigners who might not have the rhythms in them, but on the final day of the show, they give you a good show.
To understand that these things, it's a collaborative part. My work as a choreographer will be useless if there's no dancer who has spent years, and that brings to another point, who has spent years perfecting the body to execute a certain movement. So people, when you come to employ dancers to do a work for you, and then we charge you, never say, oh, but you're only coming to dance for 20 minutes. We are able to dance properly for 20 minutes because we spent 20 years learning and rehearsing and killing ourselves to be able to execute it properly. So you're paying for 20 years worth of experience, 20 years worth of hard work. Yeah. Now that brings me back to what you're talking about. So the first step of choreographer is also know the bodies you're working with. Okay. Like a visual artist, you should know your canvas. You should know if you're doing with wood. You should know the type of wood you're working with, texture and all. So you should know the properties and the limitations of the people you're working with, and also the technique and the capabilities of the people you're working with. Because at the end of the day,
so before we continue, let's go for some music from Fela, because it's getting hot on the car radio show with Nii. We'll be right back.
The radio show.
Oh yeah! This song. Tune from Felakuti. Check it out. All sponsors, like all the pictures I drop, it's from NTY Photography. You can call them for your weddings, engagements, parties, corporate shoots, everything pictures.
We got you.
We got you. Yeah. Of course, House of Threads, Miss Kudi Trends, always making sure we are good. I'm not Bwaju, big ups to you. Yeah. Let's continue.
So, and then, in fact, when you played Fela, a very beautiful element came out. Now, you can look at Fela, the kind of work he creates, or kind of work he created, in terms of what we're trying to do in contemporary African dance. You do have foreign elements inside, but they make the foreign elements sing African. So you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, as contemporary dancers, you can create dances of today, but you have to make them speak African. You have to make them speak.
That unique element that was
That's
so
exactly.
that this is from Ghana.
This is from Ghana. That's what we're talking about. Otherwise, you get lost in what the world is trying to do. Because there's no point going to a global village if you don't have anything to present. There's no point in going to a global village and I'm going to present what they do. You know what I'm saying? I have to take mine there.
It's dance. Everything is dance. Everything is dance. So today is World Dance Day.
Yes. Yes.
What does it mean to you?
Yes.
As a performer, a choreographer, a dancer, and a director yourself? This
The Car Radio Show.
Of course, World Dance Day is a day set aside by UNESCO to recognize, dancers in the area of dance worldwide. Yeah. But the thing is, as Africans, we should not actually wait for World Dance Day, because as an African, every day is a dance day for you. You get what I'm saying? Every day is a dance day for you. Remember at the beginning of our conversation, actually, the dancer is everything. Yeah. Which means everything is the dancer. In the olden days, a king would not be given his tool if the king did not know how to dance.
learn it.
It was a requirement. So the dance was supposed to be an embodiment of the culture. And it also helped as a way of transmitting generational information. You know what I'm saying? So dance, it was everything we did. And it looks like Ghana, we are in between dance as a traditional endeavor and a dance as a professional endeavor.
So how do you marry the two?
Here, listen. The two of them are actually supposed to exist together. We don't need to marry them. Okay? We don't need to marry them. Because our traditional elements and the way we live, the dance component of it is supposed to be there. How many times will people call because they're having an event, and then what they will tell you is that we added the dance as a last bit. We didn't even think of it from the beginning. It's just a last bit, so we just want you guys to come and do something. We don't just come and do something. If you did not think of it at the inception of whatever program you're trying to do, then truly do not call us. Because at the end of the day, you end up disturbing us.
Sure.
If you're not able to integrate the artistic into whatever you're trying to do, honestly, you're falling short. Because as a human being, in fact, honestly, that is why we have very useless leaders. None of them is properly artistically inclined, so they cannot think outside the box. In fact, they cannot think knowing that there shouldn't even be a box. You get what I'm saying? Forget outside the box. You're trying. Now you think as if there's no box. So we're not ingenious in how we handle our problems and whatever. It's because we've lost that nurturing through the arts and expanding your ability to see beyond this, to see beyond what is right in front of you. Actually, we can't see far. Like this guy said, I can't see far. I can't think far. You get what I'm saying?
Is it that they don't want to put a premium on the importance of dance, the national development?
See, it is because honestly, as a people, we still haven't gone beyond food, shelter, sex.
Okay.
No,
Food, shelter, sex.
We're still there. All we're thinking about is, Charlie, where's the resource? You have you're finished. But you know what I'm saying? We're not thinking about the future, because if we were, all these things would fall in place. As we're developing our scientists, we're adding arts to how they develop. Go to Russia, they don't care if you become the top scientist or that. As growing up, you would either do ballet You will learn from the Russian ballet, or you will learn how to play a musical instrument. You will do something artistic.
Of course.
And as you become a one-sided person in your thinking, you can't conceptualize properly. And that is where we are right now. You know, and we can blame colonialization a bit.
How long will we blame that?
On that.
How long?
But the more I went to perform in Ohio, got to the stage, everybody was there. They had pre-studied my dance piece before I got there.
And knew
the kind of lighting, everything I wanted was there, because they believe, you know, they believe in the art, what you have, what you bring in, what you have to offer.
Sure.
Ghana, don't let artists go and change in washroom. Let artists go and change in toilets. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. So we need to package. We need to put the respect on the dances, the performance. Alright, so that's it. World Dance Day. The stage is yours, the camera is yours. Look into the camera and talk to your people.
Listen, we have a saying, and if you haven't danced, you have not lived. Today's World Dance Day. What you can do is to take, even if it's a 10-second video, whether you are sitting on your couch or walking around in your house, a short video, load it up online, just tag Noyam at Noyam Dance, or send it to Demographics or me, and we'll put it up there. It is not a competition, it is just to remind people that we as Africans, dance is a part of us. We could be walking, and then the way we walk, you know what I'm talking about? It's Dance Day. Just do that short video, let's put it out there. Let's show the world that Ghana, we are dance.
Alright, you heard it? Also to Nii Tete Yartey from Noyam Dance Institute. Noyam Dance Institute. Call them. Follow them on Instagram. It's the Car Radio Show. Until then, we say.
The Car Radio Show.
Okay, so that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Follow the show, The Car Radio Show, on online platforms. Subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram, The Car Radio Show, and follow me, CEO Demographics. Until then, check out the new song by Neseno Jolly. Also check out King of Accra featuring Neseno Nathan Kwao Milwaka.